Hello everyone, I am Silverraptor and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon deck gameplay video where we're playing with that British armored deck in the last video. So, got into this game, joined up with Gurkha.pt, a little bit of a friend of mine that I met on Wargame, and Fixer15. We're going up against completely random people. Um, no idea how what their win rates was, just jumped into the game and started playing. So we're going to start this off. We're also going to speed it up a little bit. Now, at the start of this game, I'm sending a Gazelle forward to Hotel. Basically, I'm trying to see if they're going to be rushing any kind of helicopters or anything going to Hotel. And off the bat, they have two Su-27 PUs. Oh yeah, I am taking the right side with my armored deck. So they've got two expensive heavy-duty planes. It clues me in that I should not bring in any of my planes as long as these Air Superiority fighters stay up. So one Su-27P is going to come by and shoot down my Gazelle. The other one's going to be going off against these helicopters right here. I'm always amazed at how big the explosion those Air Superiority missiles are when they hit the ground. So the Su-27Ps are again coming through. They take out one of the Fennec 20mm. They're firing against these planes, but end up missing. Another missile, no idea where that was firing at. Another couple of Air Superiority fighters, Su-27S, is going to try to stop this helicopter push with Fixer. Now it's shooting down some of them, but helicopters are landing successfully. Got a couple of Ito helicopters up here. So he's just basically skimming the ground. Over here, an Mi-24D is trying to sneak past. My Challenger marksmen are too quick on the draw and successfully shoot that down. And as it was trying to sneak back behind our line, trying to get whatever CV was in Oscar here. And it was indeed carrying some infantry, a 15-pointer, so kind of cheap, probably Mostroki 90 or something. The cheapest kind of infantry, so it doesn't really get the experience bonus from that. Su-27 PUs again coming in, trying to take out these bells, it looks like, or these helicopters. So he's just basically trying to poke down as many helicopters as possible with his close-range infrared missiles. In the meanwhile, I have kind of split up my forces. The Warrior and the Warriors with the Fusilier 90s are going to be going over here onto the left-hand side and basically trying to help assist with this town because they're not going to be good out in the open. Meanwhile, my Challenger 2, backed up by two Challenger 1 Mark 3s, are going straight down onto the right-hand side, backed up by the Challenger marksmen right behind them. Now, seeing that there's a whole bunch of planes, and they keep bringing more and more planes in, woo, my camera went over there, an Su-27M, and this is all by the same guy, and the fact that I haven't seen anything, I was fairly certain that he is not going to send anything across this little river here. So, Su-27M is coming forward, is going to be shot at by, looks like these Veeks. My Challenger marksmen also shoot at it, and with the combined firepower of the Veek-40s do take out that 200-point plane. That was a very valuable start. Oh, I was hoping that plane would land right onto those targets. Oh well. So anyways, I was fairly certain that they were going to come down, so I just leave a Challenger 1 Mark 3 and a Challenger marksman behind to guard this little river area, as my Challenger 2 and my Challenger 1 Mark 3 with the other Challenger marksmen are going to come by and see if they can help out with Fixer as he pushes down the center here. As you can see, we made quite a bit of gain. This guy was playing completely Air Superiority, and while he does have Air Superiority, we're just going to march onto the ground because Air Superiority fighters can't really do much against tanks. The Leopard 1A5NO is going to just take out these 5-point trucks. As my Fusilier 90s both have unloaded from the Warrior of Milan, decided to link up together into one squad. They're going to be pushing off. A Draken has come forward to drop some bombs, but the sheer number of Air Superiority fighters does shut it down quickly. I do inform Fixer that no planes are to be allowed in because there's just too much Air Superiority fighter. They've invested so many points in controlling the air, we're going to let them have it and just ignore it and just push on ground, which is what we're doing. My Challenger 2, Challenger 1, and Warriors are moving forward, basically to try to see if they can cut off any reinforcements coming down here onto the center line. In the meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Gurkha is pushing into Bravo. It does have a tow stuck here into Bravo. I don't know why I can't speak today. Folks is going to be shot down by a lot of machine gun fire of, what are these? BTR 152, or DSL 56 is same thing. just different name, right? Let's see. Why can't I pull up the info for it? Oh well. Alright, so these planes are just going to keep flying over, remind us that they are indeed still here. When one of them gets close enough, my Challenger Marksman is going to shoot a few shots at it. Get it out of the field for a moment. Also going to damage that PU for a little bit. I move forward these 5-point trucks and basically see what shoots at it, and there are indeed ATGM missiles. But they target this, not the Challenger Marksman, which gives me a clue that the Challenger Marksman is out of range of them. If they do try to get to range, my Challenger 1 Mark III should be able to spot them. I did unload a couple of Milan 2s. They're going to sit here into this forest line, and if anything comes forward, hopefully the stuff will be distracted by the Challenger 1 Mark III and the Challenger Marksman, that these Milan 2s will be able to shoot them unabated. I'm moving the Gazelle over here a bit more to the left to basically give a better line of sight view over the whole area, and as you saw, I am going to bring in a Chieftain Mark 10, put it into this forest line so we'll be able to assist and shoot at anything that might come forward with its main gun. That Books is not having a good day. Well, anyways, my Fusilier 90s have moved forward. That's slower. Move faster. Looks like Fixer's going to be dropping off an AS-332 to basically repair one of his Volkswagen, which are in fact almost dead. So that's going to be quickly bumped up as my Fusilier 90s are going to try to get into this forest line. See if I can help out Gurkha by flanking a bit from their left. Seed plane flew over, but I am too smart for that. All of my radar is turned off, waiting for stuff to get too close. And this looks like it's the seed plane. It's going to be flying back as more of the planes are flying over. So this guy's definitely trying to use the vast majority of air power to keep us pinned down, but we are kind of ignoring him. He has a lot of planes, but he doesn't have the right kind of planes to execute this strategy effectively. SC-27 PUs are coming close, and they shoot down the recon helicopter. I keep my Challenger Marksman off because I knew that MiG-25 BM was flying right behind. And then I poke it a little bit with some gunfire to remind it that, yes, I am here. My Fusilier 90s do take out all the vehicles that the Modestroki were in, but unfortunately, the Modestroki and the Fusilier 90s are pretty dead even. I mean, yes, the Fusilier 90s have a little bit of an advantage with some extra fire rate, a little bit of extra accuracy, but the sheer fact that there's 3 squads of Modestroki, this is not a fight that they're going to win, so I'm instantly going to start retreating my Fusilier 90s, being backed up immediately by some mortars from Gurkha, and that helps allow my Fusilier 90s to retreat back. I'm going to try to get to this helicopter, AS-332, to repair. T-62MV1 is coming straight down the road. Don't know if it's going to get into range of my Challenger 2. It turns off at the last second and is going the correct way, so my Challenger 2 is not going to be able to get that kill. Fusilier 90s are on the run, but oh no, Fixer is taking off with his supply helicopter, probably going for the Jaeger 90. The Fusiliers were going to go there to resupply, and I let him know that I am sad that he moved his AS-332 as more mortar shots are coming in. He's moving his Volksgerm Jaeger over to take on those Modestroki. These are much better equipped at taking on regular infantry than the Fusilier 90s. So they are going to rapidly rip apart those Modestroki if they just stop and start shooting. Fixer, seeing that I was unhappy, decides to bring the AS-332 back, so I respond again with a happy face to express my how pleased I was. So though they're going to be cleaned up quite quickly, I got this all locked down. So in the meantime, we're going to be starting bringing in CVs, take over all the center area to get the points advantage so that we can begin pushing forward. A T-64A is sitting back here onto the high ground, and the chief tank is able to provide fire support in case any of our infantry come up over this way. So we are going to have to be smart when we move up our my Fusilier 90s. Probably going to have to take this forest route, basically try to push in through here so there's anything poking its nose over here into Bravo. Looks like Gurkha has been pushed out of Bravo successfully as he is laying down a defensive line. Leopard 2A1 is going to have to go up against these Lekka Pakotas. The Lekka Pakotas don't have very good armor penetration power, but there are enough of them that they can whittle down this Leopard 2A1 if he is not careful. They are firing quite a bit of their recoilless rifles. Leopard 2A1 is still firing, but in comes the mortar shots from these PZ mortars. Just guessing what that abbreviation is. Oh no, fire, computer reset. This thing needs to instantly retreat with only 8% accuracy. Is not going to be very effective. Yes, he is indeed retreating in, and looks like a huge bomb from this lance has come in onto that infantry. Leopard is going to have to completely retreat, and the T-62 MV1 is engaged with its Arcan missiles. Challenger 1 Mark III is going to go up to engage. It is a hit from the front armor, but its 20 front armor laughs at this 21 AP power Arcan missile. Another shot hit the tank, but the tank did retreat and escape. MiG-25 BM was trying to see if he could get a hit on my Challenger Marksman, but my Challenger Marksman, of course, has its radar gun turned off. So my Challenger 1 Mark III is on the retreat. It did do a bit of damage to this T-62, but is not enough. T-64A gets hit by the Challenger 2. Which is quickly going to reload and aim again another shot. Takes it out quite quickly. My recon helicopter does get taken out, as my Challenger Marksman does do quite a bit of damage to the T-72 PU. Sturm is fired against my Challenger 2, but my Challenger 2 hit back into the bushes quickly enough that the missile lost track and that Kokon missile went flying. KA-52 is trying to spot it, and it's going to be backed up with an Akula, so this is going to be quite dangerous. But I can handle this. I'm pretty certain that if he moves it up, if I got my Challenger Marksman to turn on this radar gun, stun up and kill this KA-52, then once the KA-52 is down, I can then turn and try to stun up the KA-50 Akula. Sturm is firing at the Challenger 2, which has just been spotted, so it instantly charges forward. A PT-71 has retreated and met its untimely demise to my Challenger 2 gun. Challenger 2 gets into range of the Sturm and does indeed die, but does take a huge whack into front armor, so it did take quite a bit of damage. Akula is firing, takes out my warrior. Instantly I move up my Challenger Marksman. And just before it could fire at the KA-52, got an optics failure from the first hit. That first hit from the KA-52 only did about 6 points worth of damage because it hit in the front armor. With the optics failure, the Challenger Marksman cannot shoot, so it is going to have to retreat. With this exceptional optics, all these vehicles are indeed revealed, so they are going to retreat. A full retreat for now. Challenger 2 is on 2 HP left. Brought in the seed plane to try to see if he can take out my Challenger Marksman, but this needs to be a tactical retreat. Cannot no longer, especially with all the damage that all these vehicles have, maintain that position. So I'm going to go back, take in some supply helicopters to supply up these helicopters. The Akula is going to move forward with my Challenger Marksman optics failure. There's nothing that I can do to stop that. And with that, Vickers missile does take out my Challenger 2 through the front armor. Again, it's 2 damage to repel that kind of firepower. But he's wisely going to retreat back. He doesn't know if we have any AA. The truth is we don't, but he doesn't know that. So I'm able to be able to save my Challenger 1 Mark III and Challenger Marksman as I retreat back. Fusilier 90s have made their way into the forest, taking a little bit of damage as they fought along the way. They are going to be pushing up into Bravo, and it looks like Gurkha has managed to find the CV. Looks like he lance-shotted this common area where a CV is put, and that was taken out. This is a good little area to try to hide a CV if you don't have any infantry CV for this sector. That's something to keep in mind. So a Sturm was moving up. My Challenger 1 Mark III did indeed spot it and was able to open fire, taking that out, which would have been pretty dangerous. Sturms are pretty good. They've got 2,800 meters ATGM, so that does give them a little bit of an advantage to fire their missile, hit the tank, and give them ample time to try to retreat out, but not enough time to shoot another missile if they fire their first one and the vehicle's going directly towards them. That's what I mean about ATGM vehicles not really quite working. As you saw, I took my Challenger 2, I charged it straight towards the Sturm that was firing at it to take out the Sturm, and because it had front armor, it was able to survive the missile, it would take it out. So they are moving forward cautiously. They're going to try to cross this river soon. Strela 10M is moving up, as well as a UAZ, what is that? Lamia? It is exceptional optics and has a frag grenade, but that is a pretty expensive 50-point vehicle for only 5 strength, so it doesn't have very much survivability. So it looks like my Challengers have been completely repaired up. They are now beginning to cross the river. swore there was another vehicle there. Must have died to Leopard 1, A5NO. T-62 takes out one of the Leopard 5, but the Leopard 1, A5 does fire back in return. MiG-27K is moving up. Pretty expensive plane, but unable to get a shot on the Leopard 1A5NO, which is just right out there into the road. That's interesting. T-80UM is moving up over the bridge. Fires, misses the Leopard 1A5NO as the RBS-56 with their 26 AV power are within range of the T-80U. He could just stop and fire here, but it looks like he's going to try to play it safer and get it into this town, but the T-80UM does acquire them. Leopard 1A5 barely survives with 1 HP left. As they're moving up, a Stormer HVM, which is not radar guided, it has pretty good range against helicopters. Instantly, the Anchor 90s open up against the T-80UM, and the RBS-56 also hit it. The T-80UM is in trouble as the RBS-56s are going to fire. One missile does miss. Another one's coming straight for the T-80UM. Does hit in the front armor, but it does survive. It is going to have to retreat all the way to the riverside, but it's still within range, and does get taken out by the RBS-56. What makes these guys pretty good is that even though they are within range of tanks, of most tanks throughout the entire endeavor of guiding the missile, they are 5-man to a squad, so they can take those tank shots. A few Fusilier 90s have been revealed by a lot of enemy vehicles that are going to be stunned up pretty heavily, and they need to go into a retreat very soon. Milan 2s do take out one of the T-72M1s, but Fusilier 90s have finally stopped shooting long enough, and they don't have any recon to spot those Fusilier 90s if the other tank is taken out. MiG-25BM does take a shot, manages to hit my Challenger marksman. But my Challenger marksman front armor did save it. MiG-27 takes out the Stormer, as that was a pretty big threat. Challenger 2 is moving up, backed up by the Challenger 1 Mark III and the Challenger marksman. Challenger marksman has its radar off, and just when the K-52 gets within range, instantly starts opening up and stuns it. K-52 can no longer fire its radar gun and is going to have to retreat, but it just got out of my range of my Challenger marksman, so I do have to turn off the gun, as that K-52 is probably going to retreat shortly. Challenger 1 did get a shot at another vehicle, as my Challengers are in a pretty good position, but in comes the Su-25T, which has a lot of deadly anti-tank missile. So instantly my tank has to throw into full reverse. Missile hits the Challenger marksman, does successfully take it out, but my Challenger marksman did stun it up enough that the VIG-40s, or my Fixer, were able to shoot down that other 200-point plane. That was definitely a good kill. Fixer brought in an Air Superiority Griffin, does take it out, and it looks like Evan has surrendered, which was the main plane player. So now that we have consolidated our position, we are still trying to push them fully out of Bravo. They are holding the line here at the river, but I do want to cross it. Challenger 2 and Challenger 1 are going to meet up with another Challenger 2 that's moving forward. Remember, this is a British armored deck, so there's 4 Challenger 2s in this deck, which is a whole 4 170-point tanks of awesome. And brought forward the Chinook, going to repair up my Challenger marksman, basically reconsolidate this position. I even brought in a Chieftain Mark 11 for basically a sniper tank, but basically this just holds the line in case they try to sneak anything coming down this region. We're going to bring in a whole bunch of other stuff, Stormer HVMs, which surprisingly are taking the detour. They're doing this deer path that they made for themselves all the way across this field to get into this road. I'm guessing with their speed, it's faster to go onto the go cross country than it is to take the road all the way across there. That makes sense. Fusilier 90s are moving back into this forest. I'm going to do something a little bit risky, but something that would definitely allow these Fusilier 90s to stay where they are. I'm bringing forward a Chinook from earlier that does have the supply. It's going to land right here, resupply the Fusilier 90s, and when the Fusilier 90s are all repaired up, Chinook's going to get hell out of dodge, and the Fusiliers are going to get back into this. I'm banking on the fact that they have been so pushed back, they don't really have AA on this side of the river, so hoping with that so that the Chinook could successfully land. It does take a little bit while to get down, and instantly I see that there's a plane coming. An IL-102, I instantly know that that means that there is a bomber that's going to be coming. Chinook is going to need to get out of there very quickly. Fusilier 90s are, yep, Chinook instantly takes off. to the extent that IO-102 is going to go for it, Fusilier 90s are going to go off into that path. I was very lucky he didn't bomb exactly where the Chinook actually landed. I think he was landing the bombs where he thought the Fusilier 90s were, but they weren't. They were over here. So the Chinook going to go a little bit of a holding pattern. Another IO-102 lands and does a huge bit of damage against these tanks. As a missile does hit it in the back, but the IO-102 does survive that. Another plane goes down, and the MiG-25 takes out another radar AA piece and fires all of its seed missiles, but the last Roland 3 got the shot and killed the MiG-25BM. It goes down right near where the Chinook is going to be re-landing to re-buff up these Fusilier 90s. MiG-25 got too close to infantry and took quite a bit of machine gun fire at the start. RBS-70s almost took down the KA-52, which would have been really nice if they had managed to do so, while Gurkha is going to begin a push himself. I will soon be joining him as these Fusilier 90s are repairing up. As these AS-332 is going to be repairing the Challenger 2 and the Challenger 1, as they did take quite a bit of beating from all those bombs the IO-102 did drop. Stormers HVMs are approaching to the field. These are going to be desperately needed, as well as 2 Trackbreaker FSAs. These are radar guided, so I do need to keep them off. But these are going to help me basically try to shoot down the massive amount of planes that they have, and any helicopters that are in the way. The Stormers will be able to take them out, especially the Akula. They'll be able to engage at longer range than the Akula can, and hopefully be able to take out the KA-52 as they are infrared AA. KA-52 is coming across, does reveal the Chieftain Mark 11. MiG-25BM was looking for another shot as the Trackbreaker FSA does hit it as it flew on by. Basically told him, yes, I can shoot you, and my radar is off all the time. Stormer HVMs are going to be moving up into this forest line. It's just wait for everything to just consolidate and then bring forward another Challenger marksman. So basically, I'm just putting together a huge kind of armored push. Got a number of heavy-duty tanks backed up by a ton of AA to shoot down any helicopters or planes that are going to try to instantly respond once the push begins. Mi-8 TVs are coming forward as I'm moving forward my Trackbreaker FSAs to see if they can try to go about engaging them. I am kind of cautious, that's why they are still off. But the Mi-8A TVs are going to drop off their infantry kind of far out. That is indeed interesting. Fusilier 90s are completely repaired up, and they're going to begin moving forward to help Gurkha with his push. Over on the right-hand side, looks like my Challenger marksman does get taken out by a KA-52, but the Stormers instantly return fire, and after a number of missiles do take it out. Things are being hit all over. VDB-90 have been dropped off, but the Leopard 185 and those do take out one of the squads that was dropped off with the helicopters here. And another IL-102 is coming forward for a big bombing strike. Trackbreaker FSAs instantly open up and manage to stun it and take it out. So it wasn't able to drop its bombs. That was extremely fortunate for my part. VDB-90 are going to be moving up, but Stewards is too well defended for them to stop us. Griffins do a couple of shots at the Su-27 PUs. One of the Griffins do get shot down as the Roland 3s and the Trackbreaker FSAs are going to be opening up against these Su-27Ss. F-16 also begins to shoot down, and we are greatly whittling away the air superiority that the enemy did indeed have, as I'm bringing forward more and more reinforcements of Challenger marksmen and Challenger 2s. This is my last Challenger 2 that's coming in onto the field for a total of 3 for this onslaught. Fusilier 90s come up against some Lijuan 90s, and no thank you. They're going to completely retreat as the Mi-25S-24s with their massive 10 HE power rockets are going to be flying over. Draken 1 is going to drop the bombs on these Lijuan 90s. Maya has successfully taken them out too, as the Fusilier 90s are on the retreat. The one-man squad is indeed taken out by those 10 HE power rockets, but the Fusilier 90s are going to still try to make their way to the forest as those helicopters stick down below the horizon. Another plane is coming in. Looks like another IL-102. Trackbreakers are instantly going to have to turn on their missiles. Do a little bit late. One of the missiles does indeed hit, but the bombs fortunately do not hit where the Trackbreaker FSA is, as it looks like a Fixer did shoot down another Griffin. So we have been whittling away at the enemy slowly but surely and having a massive points lead. Another of the enemy does indeed surrender, as we are indeed crushing this force. Had the enemy managed to try to contest it to hotel at the start and have pressure on this side, then he might have had a chance to hold me off. As such, I was able to take all of my tanks and assist out into the center side. I put the attack marker as I have 3 Challenger 2s and 2 Challenger 1 Mark 3s, as well as some recon and a bunch of AA. And now it's time to charge forward. MiG-25 BM is going to be moving forward with his anti-radar plane. I do capture a number of supply trucks. Challenger 1 Mark 3 is going to encounter a F-50 Akula, which has a really rapid-fire missile rate and does take that out with 3 rapid-fire direct hits. MiG-27K is coming forward to see if he can take out the tank, but I guess he doesn't quite have a line of sight on it. My Stormers do move up, and they're going to be targeting against that Akula. MiG-25 BM does take on one of my FSAs. It's my FSA that are trying to engage that. Missile flies and misses, but this director of FSA only has 1 missile left. Fortunately, there's a bunch of supply here. I am going to rest up and repair my Challenger 2s and resupply everything as they cross. Scimitar and Stormers, since they are both amphibious, are just going to cross the river without a bridge and provide more of a covering fire and basically separate themselves from this Chieftain Mark 11, which would be a suitable target for the enemy to take out. I figure there's only 1 player left. Let's go hit them where it hurts, strike at the heart of Foxtrot. Track Rapier FSA is moving up to resupply with this with these trucks right here. Challenger Marksman is going to be moving over to the side to defend in case any planes come from this side, as my tank convoy is going to be going straight down this road. And over here, see a helicopter, probably going to be a CV. And see that it is indeed a CV. One of my Challenger 2s does turn, is going to be going down for this road, shoot at the CV as it moves down, and then going to be cut across into Foxtrot as a 2-pronged approach. The rest of my force is going to be moving up. Gurkha looks like he's going to be assisting me with some artillery fire coming right on in, as we do have the 90% destruction rate. He is pushing on his side, which is distracting the enemy, as my Challenger 2 is going to take out that CV helicopter, as there are 3 T-72 tanks that engage his Challenger 2. Challenger 2 is wheeled down to be pretty low on health. T-72 instead turned to engage his recon, which did its job and sacrificed itself to avoid being shot, this Challenger 2 being shot at. Other Challenger 2 is going to be shooting and then joining into the fight to assist his brother, as he shoots at the rest of these tanks. Other Challenger 1 Mark 3 is going to move up to see if he can provide any fire as the Stormer HBM also is going to be able to shoot at the tank, try to take it out. And with that, my Challenger 2 is going to retreat as the others are going to be moved forward in this massive armored push. And the other enemy, seeing that he has indeed lost this defense, has surrendered. So that was a pretty quick game with the British Armored. It was interesting to see an enemy focus entirely on air superiority at the start. I mean, it would have worked if if we were bringing in planes, but seeing that he had spent so much on air superiority, I just told everyone, don't bring in any planes. There's too much AA. Just stay on the ground and bring in anti-plane systems. And fortunately, I had enough AA, infrared AA, and the Challenger Marksmen, which can take seed missiles to the face, at least one of them at a time, do provide quite a bit of soaking of seed missiles, basically to send out all the seed the enemy had. That was definitely pretty good. Gurkha did pretty decent on his side. He was didn't make the greatest progress, but given the fact that Fixer and I were able to get up so far forward, I was a little bit ambitious to just push forward and keep the pressure on them, not allow them any room to counterattack very well. As you can see, we did get quite a bit of kills. That wasn't the most lucky. That was a Razvika. Regular infantry inside an Mi-24D. I think I've told you guys in the past that I don't agree with this, because the Mi-24D really needs that elite status to be any good. Challenger 2 scoring a whole bunch of kills, as well as a whole bunch of other tanks getting all the other kills as well. So definitely a lot of planes, a lot of tanks kills, a lot of helicopter kills on this. Basically, a good old armor bash right into the enemy's face. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this British Armored gameplay, as I showed off a bit of the British armor for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below, and hit that little bell if you want to have all the notifications of whenever I put a video up live. And I'll see you all in the next Wargame Red Dragon deck creations video. If you guys have any deck ideas, Please suggest it down below.